Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern time zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us many different ways. You can find us in Alabama, channel 182, and that's on Charter Communications. You can also find us on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the Newscasters.com. You can also find us on the radio, and that's the biggest country station right here in South Carolina. Love being on that station, WZLA. You can find them online as well. But again, thank you so much for watching the show. Continue sending email. It makes my day. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. I have my friend Victoria Lee Scott with me right now. And Victoria, I follow Victoria very closely. So I'm going to tell you something about many things. That she's beautiful. She's a bodybuilder. She does all these wonderful things. I really like how you tell it like it is. I mean, because we don't hear that very much anymore. You hear people who are like in the middle. You know, they don't want to get far to the left. They don't want to get to the far to the right. They don't want to do either one. They just, they're just right in the middle. And it's kind of, to me, it's humdrum. But somebody like you who gets out there and you speak the truth, I love it. I really dig it.
Well, it's very important because so many people have been made to what I call lukewarm. Now, the lukewarm means, it's like, well, they're screaming louder over there, so put your attention over here. I'll just be fine right where I am. Mm-hmm. The problem being is that our country is paying that price dearly. I mean, the turnout alone in voting is ridiculous in this country. Mm-hmm. I mean, and everybody thinks, well, we don't want to do those small ones. Just how do they climb the ladder? And that's the thing. When you take your eye off the ball as far as what is happening in our local communities and who we're putting into office, because that person will leave you soon. And hopefully they're going to Congress or Senate. They're going to the next level and they're taking that. So, it's interesting to see how many people remain to be lukewarm because they don't want to step on either side. But that's not what we're called for at this particular time and place. We have President Trump is not going to be there forever. And we have got to start planning in what direction this country is honestly going and who we are backing. We had spoken earlier, there's a lot of things that are getting in that does not make sense right now to me. I'm trying to process it. It's amazing to me on how much stuff gets shoveled on the weekend when nobody's really paying attention. And then you come back on Monday and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. And so it's really important, the Newscasters Studio, we're getting a lot of media eyes on us. From Fox to different networks so we're getting a lot of, and the thing is I think we are offering a diverse, perspective on things. It's interesting, Donna. I looked at our, on the network, on the opening, the homepage, and who would have known all that? And how many years I've been doing this, right? Mm-hmm. So who would have known that when I put in there for professional journalists and citizen journalists alike, that we would have a Nick Shirley making headway with a sweatshirt and an iPhone. But just knowing that I knew how media was changing makes me realize, all right, some things are just not in my time. So I have to keep doing, what it is that you and I are meant to do in the times in between that we're doing what we do.
Well, I love it. And I'll just have to tell you that I think you and I, we don't know the true number of people who are watching our shows. But I'm going to tell you, I think we're getting more listeners than some of these CNN folks, and because people are just tired of that. People are tired of, I can go to a liberal channel and it's like the people are saying the same thing. It's like they get the same memo. This is what you need to talk about today, and that's what they're seeing. But they're seeing different things on the newscasters because you've got. And you get all these different opinions, and you get to listen to them. You get to siphon them all out in your head, but it's real stuff. It doesn't even feel made up. You know what I mean? It's real.
Yeah. It's actually, it's like for the first time, a bit of me can exhale. When you create something and it's your baby and you're constantly building, constantly trying to find the right venue, the right path, the right everything, the right people. And every once in a while, you get a little dose of, you got that whole full air. That way you can just, and that was another email that I got this morning. Somebody from a news company looking to go, looking at what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll answer that email today. But, it's back to what we were saying. It's time for us, and I've been saying this for years. We've got to look inside of ourselves first and find out who and what we stand for. Mm-hmm. And when we can do that, it's very easy to then exist in the world where everybody stands for something else. But if you understand you're more in the realm of being open to debate than you are in the realm of just being shut down. And the only thing I've been saying for years on my show, when we lose the art of debate, we will be left with nothing but violence. And we started seeing our college campuses, and we started seeing, and there's a little bit of a hope, but there's still the level of violence we're seeing is new. Mm-hmm. Because it's different. It's more vicious than what we've ever known. I mean, there has always been vicious, but this is a younger generation and a viciousness that, let's be real honest here, that's what they've been trained for. All right. It's nothing new.
And let's talk about this. I got something else I got to ask you. And this plays into it as well. Okay. Now, Rob Reiner was killed by his son. Okay. And it was a terrible thing. But now let's step back and look. Okay. So Rob Reiner, he wished death on Trump. He did. And so when your kids hear you say things, your kids, and they listen, I'm telling you, those little ears are wide open. They listen to what their parents say and they take it all in. So when you hear your parents say, well, I think he needs to be dead. And then like an abortion, killing babies, there's nothing wrong with that. What does that tell these young folks about the value of life? Aren't we bringing it on ourselves? Because generations of this.
Yeah, but Donna, the scary part is what you and I are talking about right now. We are going into the third generation of this thought, this thinking. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about something we're starting to see in our young people now. We are talking about, from millennials on to, we got two more generations after them, where it used to just be the millennials. And they're the adults now, the millennials. They're the adults now. So, and that's what we're starting to see. So the thing of what we're talking about now is, we're not talking about just something that can be turned around. We are talking about, this train has added a lot of cars to it. It's not going to be easy to turn it around because it's all they know. We are talking about generations that weren't raised like you and I. And that's probably, I know kids today, they can say, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But they're not paying attention to the lessons that we learned. And their lessons are going to be different and they're going to be harder. And a lot of them are starting to see it, because real life is starting to take hold of them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this country knows exactly what is coming, but gas today is up. We got cargo ships that aren't cargoing. and sooner or later, everybody's going to be looking for all their stuff, Donna. They're going to be looking for their stuff.
we're going to see some more issues with supply. We just are.
We are.
It's out there.
Yeah.
But when you're a young person, everything's been instant to you your entire life, and mommy and daddy has given you every single thing you want. But then you get into the real world where you're going to have a supply issue. That's what's going to happen right now with these gas prices. But I wanted to ask you the number one question that I'm getting right now.
Which is?
Why aren't we just plain old using our own fuel here in the United States?
That's I don't understand as much as we have here. Why aren't we tapping it, moving it, and why aren't we piping it? I
was hoping that would happen the first year under President Trump.
I really thought that those jobs and everything, look how many people we can put to work. Are you serious? And put them back to work. It's nothing that wasn't started already.
And good
so let's
paying
get that
jobs.
Clear.
They're not $10 an hour jobs. These are good paying jobs.
Those are good paying jobs, but that I'm not really sure as to really. Right now, we got a mess on our hands.
Mm-hmm. We
got China. We've got Putin, whatever the heck he's doing right now.
Who knows?
We got Venezuela. Everybody's choking everybody right now because, truthfully, what I think, Donna, I think they're all divvying up sides.
I think so too.
I can't help it. It's the way my brain thinks. I'm like, no, I know there's a lot going on.
It's almost so much like overload. I mean,
right. But now we got this morning. The Ayatollah's son is the one they're putting in, and he's more of a brutal dictator than his father was.
Uh-huh.
So what direction is that going to go in? How are they going to put that genie back in the bottle?
See, that's the thing. You get the toothpaste out of the tube. How do you put it back in there?
You don't.
The problem is we've let the genie out so many different times just to satisfy a group of people, and we've turned into this nation of it's like people can't take anything anymore. Like, okay, when I was a kid, so by today's standards, I was a tough kid, I guess. So I was the only girl in the neighborhood, so I played baseball and football and everything with the guys in the neighborhood. I got skint knees all the time. As a matter of Phil is 11 years older than I am. And I said, what do you remember about me when I was a kid? Because his dad pastored the church we went to. And he said, I remember a skinny-kneed little girl that constantly had scabs on her knees. I would have never thought I would have married you. And so I'll say, so it wasn't love at first sight, right? No, it was not. But the thing about it is I would skin my knees. I just got right back up and went back out there and played because I wanted to be tough like the boys were. But now a kid gets a skint knee and the parents are taking them to the emergency room.
And the thing is there is, even just look at the amount of drugs and side effects and things people are taking. Mm-hmm. We just need a good garden, some good vegetables, some clean eggs, so they're not messing with our eggs. We want right out of the chicken's butt.
Uh-huh.
And what are we asking much for? Because the food is what's destroying so many. It's very interesting. I just saw an article and I found it really interesting, Donna, because it was a bunch of pictures, a bunch of beach pictures from the 70s comparing today the amount of overweight and obesity from the summer of the 70s to the summer of 2026 is wow.
It is mind-boggling. I mean, the difference in what people even just look like anymore. Let's go into a commercial break. I can't believe half the show's already over. Just a few minutes. We'll be right back. Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulsed electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care. Good afternoon, Sunshine. Your Realtor Moment is brought to you by Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams of Greenwood, helping families buy and sell with confidence right here in the Lakelands. Now, if you're thinking about selling, don't automatically start renovating. Many sellers overspend on updates buyers don't even value. So before you touch a thing, talk with your local market expert who knows exactly what buyers are looking for right now. Jenny can help you price it, prep it smart, and market it professionally across multiple platforms. For a free consultation, call Jenny Ferguson today and let your next move be your best move. Thank you so much for watching your Realtor Moment, brought to you by Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams of Greenwood, helping families buy and sell with confidence right here in the Lakelands. Have a super duper awesome blessed day. We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, Podcast, Talk Show, and continue sending emails. We love it. I've got to get right back. It seems like we never have enough time, so let's go ahead and talk with Victoria some more. So and I so fear. Okay, I'm going to use you for an example.
Sure.
You've got a body that 20-year-olds are jealous of. I mean, I'm just telling you, there's a stark difference. When we would go out on the beach when we were younger, it was like if I showed 1 inch of fat or any kind of whatever, I would not go. I just would not. I didn't want to be made fun of. And you heard the whole thing. Fat's where it's at. Thin may be in, but fat's where it's at. It's like there's no shaming anymore. It's just like
none.
People. You see people on the beach, and it's like, I won't go out there. You go out there, body for it, but I'm not going to go out there.
Well, I have a saying, lycra, it's a privilege, not a right.
So what has happened? Okay. No, I don't really want to wear a suit to church or anything like that. I'm not into that, but I kind of feel like for church, I need to kind of dress it up a little bit more just to show respect.
I do. Yeah, when I go to church, I do. I don't wear a dress all the time, depending on it. But when I go to church, I choose the way I want to dress a little, like I'm just not going out, so I put that in. But it's interesting because when I did my last bodybuilding competition, I don't know, stop me if I've ever told you this, but I was laughing on stage. And when I got off the stage, my friends kept saying, "Why were you laughing?" Because it finally hit me after all those years as a bodybuilder, Donna. I'm up there and I'm looking, and here I am at my age in a bikini. My whole life, I feared people judging me.
Good.
And here I found myself on a stage in a bikini and actually welcoming people to judge me. And I just laughed and said, I'm done. This cycle of my life is done. Mission accomplished. But it was just, it was just something I had to learn, not on the outside, but something on the inside. And that was back to the point we were originally talking about. If people don't give that insight into themselves, I mean, you have women that just reach a certain point that no longer look in the mirror. They no longer look in the mirror. And it's like, you got a whole life. We're not done yet.
We're not dead.
We're not done yet.
So what's wrong with just, okay, I'll be 67 on my birthday.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't care. I mean, to me, it's just a number. I mean,
right?
Because I feel good, but now, I mean, I work hard.
Yes.
I have a garden, and I'm loving this garden. I am feeling just having the time of our lives. Every day we're going out. We planted a bunch of tomato plants, by the way. Our own seeds, no GMO stuff.
Nice.
And gosh, it's so easy to do, Victoria. Go to the farmer's market and buy your tomatoes. Okay, but now make sure that they have not sprayed anything on them. Weird.
Right.
And they're probably going to be ugly tomatoes. They're probably not going to be the most beautiful things you've ever seen in your life. They're going to probably not be perfectly round. They may have a little blotch or two on them, but those are your good tomatoes right there. They haven't anything on them to make them look beautiful. So what I did is I just did my own seeds. You take all the jelly looking stuff. It looks like, like you just blowed your nose. You take that away from the seeds, wash them really good, put them on a napkin. And guess what? You don't have to buy seeds anymore. It's just from one plant. So I even bought some from a farmer's market last year. So I had 12 varieties of tomato plants. All of them came up just from a tomato.
Wow.
That you can buy at a farmer's market. So I told Phyllis, I said, I'm going to do it. We got so many, every single one of them came up. So I said, I'm going to do this experiment. I don't think you're ever too old to experiment with anything. You can always learn. You could always, so just learn something this year. Okay, so I planted them all. They all came up. So normally I wouldn't plant my tomatoes here because we still get cold weather. We could have snow next week. That's the way it is here in the South. So it could happen. So I'm experimenting. So Phil has we've been taping some shows. So we've put some raised beds together. And Amazon's one of my sponsors, by the way, and Lowe's. And so those are two new sponsors that we have. And
wonderful.
So we put all that together. And I told Phil, I said, we got all these extra plants. I'm going to give them away. I'm not going to let them die. I mean, we're going to let people, neighbors can have them, whatever. But I said, I'm going to experiment with some of these plants. So what I did is I kind of made this mini, like greenhouse kind of effect. So I went on ahead and planted some of those tomato plants over the weekend. Well, Friday. And put plastic over it because we've had some chilly nights. And I said, let's just see. God's letting me have extra plants. So let's just see if this works.
Right.
They're loving it. We're going to get tomatoes earlier than about a month or 6 weeks earlier than we normally do.
Wow.
Just experiment, learn, and grow. And it's okay if you're wrong about something. I mean, learn from it. That's not what we've been teaching kids for the past 3 generations. It's been like, well, mommy and daddy will take care of it for you. Well, guess what? They've not had the experience of a good skint knee. I'm talking about a good one where blood's gushing out. Right. Need that experience.
It's not one, it's a few generations now, and the mindset is totally different. It's so emotional.
It's tough.
It's just emotional. Extremely, everything runs on emotions.
But that doesn't work. We've been trying that as an experiment for the past how many decades? And it's not working. It's
not working.
Regressing.
I don't know what is going to change. I really don't. I sit and I wonder, what is going to cause something for the next generation, that tipping point, you know what I'm saying, that where they themselves grow differently. That's what I'm trying to figure out, when that's going to happen.
But they're not as healthy as we were growing up.
Absolutely not.
We ate dirt.
Absolutely not. And they're not as active. Their mind isn't as active, and it's what's in their brain is really not anything that's sustainable, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just all instant gratification, the majority of it.
Yeah, but you got to learn, and you're not going to learn if everything in your life is instant gratification. You're never going to learn anything.
Well, I mean, have you been in a retail store recently? Some of them, I mean, if the register doesn't tell them how much change to give back, they're lost, and they still even have a hard time with $3.22. I mean, the sharpness is different. So I don't know. I have a 28-year-old, so of course I think about it and worry about it. But every time I talk to her, they're doing, they're building, they're growing, they're saving, and everything is just right where she should be at this age. So.
Yeah, but let me tell you something else. There's a growing amount of people who are homeschooling their kids.
Yes.
Those are the most brilliant kids you'll ever see. They're going to wind up ruling the world because of the parents that don't care. So, and the neat thing about homeschooling is you can do it on your terms.
Right.
If you have kids that like to sleep late, fine. School starts at 10. And so you've got from 10 to 5 instead of whatever time. They're learning and they're growing. And because I'm just telling you, I'm out and about all over the place. I got boots on the ground, and I will see a kid and I'll just walk up to the mother and say, "Do you homeschool?" And they'll say, "How do you know?" And I'll say, "Their temperament, for one thing. They're eager to learn. I heard your child say yes, ma'am, to somebody just a few minutes ago." Just they're different.
Yes.
But the world wants you to think, the left and some of the right want you to think that these kids, they're manipulated, they're controlled, they're this, they're that. Kids do need a little control. And I'm going to tell you what, little control goes far.
I think homeschooling has been a definite plus. I have all these schools right by me where my hair salon is. So I have elementary, middle, junior high school, and high school, and they all come to the donut shop next to my hair salon. So I know what time it is by what group of kids are coming. But it's been very interesting to watch a high school go from where somebody measured if your shorts or skirt were a certain inches above your knee to these kids literally wearing in their school colors, they could buy it on the website of the school website, pajama bottoms and a hoodie. And that's school attire and flip-flops. And it just, there is no presentation for any of these high schoolers. There's just none. And I've watched it change. I've watched the energy change. The ones that I think are the lost generation that really nobody was paying attention to for the last few years and still today is middle school boys. Middle school boys kind of with the Me Too movement and all of that kind of took middle school boys and, well, what do you mean I can wear a bun, my hair in a bun? And what do you mean I can wear a skirt? And, and that was just thrown at them. And, they were called my client little boys would sit and go, why are they calling me misogynistic? What does that mean? Homophobic. I'm not homophobic.
Yeah, nobody wants to be called the name. Victoria, we're going to have to call it a day. I can't believe this. The show's already gone. Guys, we're going to have to call it a day, but we're going to get her back like really, really soon. Okay, there's going to be another segment coming up soon.
Yeah, because we have a lot of midterms and people to talk about too. So we'll bring those to the table for the next show if you don't mind.
We're going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll have to call it a day. See you later.